Okay, we're back for another session here. How's it going, everybody? It is July the 18th. It's Tuesday. It's 2023. I was just watching Rocket Lab. It was trading at 7.05 a moment ago. $7 right now. Very happy to see that. Was looking for any kind of an announcement, any kind of a specific anything, and I'm just getting constant uh, stories on Rocket Lab about just how busy they are and how many launches they're into and how they're working with NASA and other entities. It's a growing concern. It's the real deal. They're cash rich. They picked up Virgin Orbit's assets for pennies on the dollar, and they're just these guys are winners, and they're going to do very well. The shares will break through 10. It's only a matter of time. They're going to break through 10, and they're going to go up. And I'm a happy guy for all of you out there who've been averaging down on Rocket Lab for a long time. Some of you now writing cash secured puts on Rocket Lab. Way to go. There's a few dollars being made here and there. I like it. Sofi, kind of like Sofi too. We are kind of plugging along here, 960, 965 range, give or take. Just getting a bit better and a bit better and a bit better. Remembering that it was around June the 14th or so, I think, is when we broke the $10 barrier, first time in a long time. And we then bottomed out around 8.05 on the 7th of July, 11 days ago. And now we're back up to 960, $1.50 gain since then. Earnings are to be released July 31. So that's in 13 days. Banks are coming up with their financials right now, and they're meeting or beating expected numbers. We're getting a little of everything here. We're getting some banks who are not giving us record returns, but they're bringing in what analysts are expecting them to bring in. SoFi, winner, chicken dinner. I mean, they don't have any branches. Some of these banks, you got to feel for these guys. So the Bank of Americas and the Wells Fargos of the world, they have branches, which used to be the strength of the organization, to have this massive footprint across the United States and all these different states and all of these, on-site local employees to do with local banking needs. In the old days, in the 80s, if you had a store in a shopping mall, at the end of the night, you close the front door of the store, and then the staff counts how much money came in, and you did the bank deposit. You had cash and Visa and MasterCard and Amex chits, that pieces of paper that you had to do. You had to work out all the deposits. And then you would have two employees walking together to the bank chute. There was a steel aluminum type thing, like a mailbox. You'd pull it up and you'd put the deposit envelope in, and you'd close it, and it would fall into a safe. And the guys from Brinks Security or whoever would pop by at midnight, whatever the time. They would pick up all these pouches, and then they would take that to a banking processing center. And the next morning, sometime the next day, the local branch they would be processing these deposits and double checking, make sure everything's right, and the balances would be adjusted inside the store's banking accounts, checking accounts. The old days, the handheld paper calculating of business. Well, go to a store. How many stores even have cash anymore? I mean, so few stores handle cash. It's all debit, credit card, plastic. And how much business is now done electronically online, literally from your couch. You don't even get off your duff anymore. You don't go to a shopping mall. For what? For a walk, maybe. You are buying stuff through Amazon or whomever, and it's delivered to your house, all electronic. All the money is handled electronically. Um, and so our friends at Bank of America, Wells Fargo, and others, do they need 10,000 branches anymore? SoFi doesn't have a single one. Never has. SoFi is everything is electronic. The whole enchilada. Talk about a head start and a much lower cost of doing business on a per dollar basis than these monster banks. Expect going forward over the next 5 years, the old fashioned banks that we've come to know, those of us in our 40s, 50s, 60s, and 70s, all these old fashioned, they're disappearing in front of our eyes. We've already noticed in the last 15, 20 years how many fewer branches there are now versus there used to be of bank branches. Is going to continue to be that way. The big revolution was you could do banking from your car. You remember that? And you didn't even have to deal with a human being with your car. I mean, in California, you've been able to bank from your car for decades, but there would be tellers at the windows and you would deal with tellers from your car. Now the next wave was going to an ATM machine out of your car. And today, who needs cash to do anything? People just don't withdraw cash anymore for their needs. They just use debit. It's a whole new world, and it's continuing on. I did see something interesting the other day, though, that caught my eye, and I thought I'd mention this. It had to do with it was one of these little short videos. It was something about how a guy was saying, "I have a $50 bill in my hand, and I have a guy who mows my lawn for me once a week, and every 2 weeks I give the kid $50 cash." The kid takes the $50 bill because this is extra spending money for this kid, and he goes to his local skateboard shop and he buys a board or whatever with cash, and the owner of the business gets the $50 and takes the $50 bill and needs to buy gasoline for the van for the business. So he goes to the local gas station and puts the $50 bill in the gas pump, or hands it to the guy behind the counter, and spends the $50. The money has turned over now several times. It's gone from the one guy to the kid to the skateboard shop to the gas station. The $50 bill has delivered $50 in services each time it was used. It's all anonymous, it's cash only, and it continues on. Now, what the gas station does with it is up to the gas station. Couple that with electronic payment. If the homeowner was to pay the kid with an electronic transfer, there would be a fee involved to the homeowner to utilize electronic transfer, or a fee is involved for the kid to accept the money, upwards of 1.5% bank fees. The kid now has $48.50 to spend on something at the skateboard shop. He uses a debit card to transact the thing, or a credit card, and the store has to pay 1.5% off the top, from $48.50 down to $46. The store owner then goes and gets gasoline, can only get $46 worth of gas. Chevron is paying 1.5% to receive that money. They're only getting $44 odd dollars. In 3 transactions, $6 has disappeared in this money. This $50 is down to $44. The amount of economic turnover has been reduced by 15 or 12%, because there isn't a $50 transaction being done anymore. It started as a $50 transaction, and now we're down to $44 transactions. If Chevron spends that money and the next one spends that money, after so many transactions, there's no money left. It's all been eaten up in transfer and bank payment fees. In other words, the banks and the money transfer entities are the ones with all the dough. The more we turn it over, the more they make. And the economy has less money going through it. I guess you could say, yeah, but the bank now has that $50 they've acquired, and they spend it on salaries and what have you. And I guess there's turnover there. But the $50 bill, if it continues on, if it goes from one person to another, to another, to another, to another. It's a $50 business transaction each and every time in perpetuity, as long as that $50 bill is accepted and lasts. And that's something to be said about the cash society that we've had in the past. Our society today is not as efficient as it was, even though it's more efficient than ever before, because from your couch, like right here, I ordered a television delivered to our house, a 75-inch television from Costco, and I didn't have to pick it up. I didn't have to lift it. I didn't have to do anything with it. As a matter of fact, last week I finally got rid of the box because the TV works great. I don't need to keep the box. The box is gone. But the entire transaction on the television was done electronically. And Costco did not receive the full actual dollars that they charged me for the television. Now, I know what really is going on. I paid more for the TV to compensate for that. They added a fee on the cost of the television without me seeing it. It's just built into the price. And that compensates Costco to collect the money from me electronically. It's funny how it works, isn't it? Cash is king. Yet, amazingly, we have been convinced as a society that cash is the enemy now, that anyone with cash is a criminal. That if you are driving down the highway in certain states of this country, the United States in particular, and you get pulled over for a traffic violation, and a cop just wants to be, the hotshot cop of the week and wants to ask you all kinds of questions about where you're going, where you're coming to, and you're dumb enough to answer these questions rather than say, I don't answer questions, just write me a ticket, shut up. There are cops out there who will try to find a way to get you to empty your pockets and confiscate your cash, because they'll consider your cash on hand as drug money, as illegal currency in the middle of a trade that is untoward. Now, there are people on the roads who don't have bank accounts, only deal in cash, and they have $1,500 cash on them driving down a highway in Arizona, and the money gets confiscated by law enforcement or wherever in the U.S. Horror stories have been publicized about this nonsense. Whereas you can have a credit card with a $50,000 limit on it. You can have a debit card that can be charged up to $1,000 a transaction. No one gives a crap. Cops can't touch you for that because they can't see that as actual value. They see it as a piece of plastic. They have no way to know how much that card is good for. Can't seize that. But cash has become the enemy. And yet cash is the most efficient way to do business and the most powerful way to do business between people and entities, because it's full value each and every time. Isn't that something? Things have changed, hasn't it? Things have changed. Anyway, there it is. Thank you, everybody. Civil forfeiture, yeah. Legal theft. It's absolute theft. Absolute, complete, and utter theft. And many, many innocent victims have been taken advantage of by law enforcement, who get bonuses for how much money they bring in out of people's butts. It's unbelievable. And it's kind of an unfortunate scenario that in some areas of the United States and Canada, we are over-policed to an unbelievable degree. Too many cops with not enough to do. And so they become Robin Hoods. They just steal from the poor and keep it for themselves. Anyway, yes, drug dealers still take cash. Bruce, don't worry about it. That's true. And so do party girls, and so do waiters and waitresses, and so do children and babysitters, and so do all kinds of legitimate people around the world take cash. Crooks also have a way to handle electronic transfers. They're very good at it. And some of the biggest thieves ever convicted in courts never traded in cash. They only traded in electronic banking. And so, you want to just say that people with cash are crooks. Knock yourself out. You've fallen for it. Hook, line, and sinker. You have fallen for that move. What can I say? Pizza delivery, cash job. That's right. Happened to me. $30,000 in a real estate deal. Money released after court appearance with contract. Frustrating. Since then, I don't take cash. And isn't that something? Flint Creek, just don't do things like stashing tens of thousands of dollars in duffel bags, desk drawers. You'll never think you'll be robbed, but I know people who've lost it just like that. And Touch Grass, they were voted in. What can I say? Thank you all for joining us. Alberto, great to have you here. Welcome all of you to the show, and welcome to the channel today. It's great to have you around. And it's good that your folks are popping in to say hello to each other. It's nice to have you here. Yeah, look, cash is there's limits. There's reasonable within reason. Cash is all right. I agree. Driving down the highway with 40,000 cash on you in a duffel bag might not be the right thing to do. It might not be the wisest thing to do. Certainly not the safest thing to do. But going to a 7-Eleven store and using a $20 bill to buy something, I think is legit, and I think it's okay. And I don't care if you have to wait an extra 5 seconds for the person to give me change. If I use a $20 bill, I don't care. Tough. Wait it out. Put your 8-second attention span on hold, and let's go from there. I have seen people try to use their debit cards and credit cards that have taken 5 minutes to get a $5 transaction done. I've seen the other side on the digital side. What I find funny is when the power goes out and or the online debit machine doesn't work, and now you go into a gas station and all the pumps have got tape all over them. And please see the cashier. You can only buy gas with cash. That happened here in Canada, a couple of weeks ago with one of the national gas stations. They had problems for days. And all of a sudden, there was an inconvenience, to say the least. People were going, holy crap, I don't have any cash to buy gas with. I mean, they were going through their glove boxes and their little catch-alls between their driver's seat and passenger seat and pulling out. In Canada, we have the loonies and the toonies, trying to put $20-$30 together to buy some gas to go down the road to another gas station that will take a debit card or a credit card. Funny how that works. It's amazing how much money we're prepared to give away for the so-called convenience of cash or convenience of capital, and how much money we're willing to give away where we think what we're doing electronically is far more legitimate than if we have cash. We've been shamed into using cash by all kinds of entities. And I can tell you the biggest winners are the firms with the highest skyscrapers in almost every city in the world. Just go check your downtown core and take a look at the biggest buildings in your large cities. You tell me what the names are on those skyscrapers. And yeah, there you go. There you know. Now you know who's really benefiting for us not using cash. Interesting stuff. Anyway, there it is. Thank you all for popping here. It's amazing what people do. Always tip in cash. And how does civil forfeiture equate to innocent until proven guilty? Alex, I always try to use cash at small businesses for the exact reason. Yeah, if it's a mom and pop shop, boy, I really enjoy using cash there because they appreciate it a lot. I had a small retail store. I had a mom and pop sports store, and I would have people come in wanting to use their credit cards, and I knew that if I accepted this credit card or this credit card, the cost to me was up to 4%, 4.5%. So a $100 transaction would cost me $4 in credit card charges to accept these high-end cash back, super bonus point type credit cards that just came right out of my butt. 4% off the top. You bought $100 worth of merchandise off of me, and my margin was 38% going in. Now I'm down to 34%. Doesn't sound like a lot when it's one transaction, but if it's $8,000 in the month times 4%, I just got hit for $320. I'm never getting that back. And if I take a debit card, they used to charge me 10 cents no matter what the amount was, just a 10-cent flat fee. So eventually I just turned my store into a debit card, cash only. We refused credit cards. And we lost zero sales, zero, because our customers would go, oh, okay, you're taking cash or debit. I'll put my American Express away. Here's a debit card, and it would just cost me a dime. And they would understand, yes, it costs you a fortune to take these cards. And I said, yeah, I can't help you get those. I can't help you get the 4% cash back like Hilton Hotels can, or some other outfits. I can't do it. Of course, the Hilton Hotels of the world, they don't pay 4% in handling fees for credit cards. Small mom and pops do, because they have no power to negotiate with the bank, where the Hilton Hotel chain tells the bank, go screw yourself. We'll pay 1% max. Otherwise, we're not taking your card. The credit cards kowtow to the larger corporations. When you're mom and pop, cash is king, because you can pay your staff in cash, you can pay bills in cash. It makes it a lot easier and cheaper and much more efficient. Funny enough, it's goofy. It's just goofy. Anyway, the old days, money. The young crowd today, if you're under 30, you have no idea what a cash world is really like. You have never been part of a real cash world. Vegas in the 80s was all cash. The slot machines paid out the quarters and the nickels and the dimes, and your fingers would get dirty from all the quarters you're handling, or those dollar coins they used to offer, and the racket those things made. Oh my gosh! And you would take a bucket of quarters to the cashier, and they would pour the bucket into the big machine that would just spin the money around, and watching the meter tell you how many dollars you're getting. Those are the good old days. That's where it was hard to lose 10 grand fast in Vegas, because it was physically difficult to lose that kind of money. It was just physically difficult to handle it and run through it, and chips and you name it. But then again, the world isn't the same as it was in 1983, obviously. Welcome to the new world. What can I tell you? Anyway, too much fun. Jen and I watched a movie last night that I love watching. I watch this movie probably every year at least once. Um, it was never a massive box office hit. It wasn't like, line up around the corner to watch. But this movie is one of the most entertaining and interesting movie, filled with little tiny details that you don't get. It doesn't hit you until you watch it a few times. The movie's called The Paper, and it stars Michael Keaton and a number of other great actors, made by Ron Howard. Clint Howard, his brother's in it. It's all about a newspaper in New York, while papers were still king, and a breaking story that was evolving, and how this group of reporters and management were dealing with how to get the paper out tonight for tomorrow morning's delivery, with the latest breaking news of this big crime story that was evolving. Fantastic movie. And when you watch it, you realize, oh my God, there's no cell phones. And nobody had a cell phone. And the computer systems were rudimentary. They were just word processors. The computers were just word processors. And people were yelling across the newsroom, how do you spell this word? How do you spell that word? And the veteran newspaper people were walking dictionaries, and they knew how to spell words. And how to phrase words and this kind of thing. And art completely eviscerated in our world, where we now are lazy, fat bastards, and we just look up Google explanations and stuff, and we have spell check to do everything for us. We don't know how to write, and we don't know how to spell, and we're quickly learning the ability to talk to each other. This AI, artificial intelligence thing is just coming in, and is going to continue to eviscerate the human interaction of this world. But if you want to watch a really great movie, you watch this movie for a while, and you will see what the world was like in that setting in about 1985, 90, just as newspapers were still at the height of what it was all about. You wanted to know what was going on, and you were a New Yorker, you had newspapers delivered to your door every morning, and you would open up the paper and have your coffee and find out what's going on. The last place you went was your television. You went to that later, but you really wanted to know what was going on, especially locally. You had your paper. Those days are gone, kids. Do you know what's really going on in your hometown anymore? You probably don't even know. Your mayor makes an announcement in your town. Do you hear it? You won't know. It used to be the front page of your local paper, or page 3 would be Metro. Page 1 would be National. Page 3 would be Metro. Section number 1 would be the news. Section 2 would be sports. Section 3 would be business. Those days are gone. It's a lost art, and it's a lost industry, and the talent required to find the news, report the news, double check, triple check, quadruple check the accuracy of the articles, then the logistics of producing the actual written documents, printing the actual documents, and distributing this all in a deadline kind of way. All of that is gone. It's all gone. And newspaper people at the top of their business now are all with white hair, losing it dramatically, and are dying amongst us of old age, because there's no new wave, virtually no new wave from that group of people. Of course, if you want to have some fun, you watch a movie from the 30s and 40s. You watch My Girl Friday with Cary Grant as the lead actor, and there's the newspaper business from the 30s, and there's a throwback to what the business was once like. And if you want to really understand from the 30s to the 70s, you watch All the President's Men, on how the two Bob Woodward and the other fellow put together the Watergate story, and ultimately blew out the president of the United States. So from the 30s to the 70s to the 90s, here are 3 movies of the newspaper business that show you what the world was really like, and the amount of what we call leather you had to burn on the bottom of your shoes to get stuff done. Burning the shoe leather is what we used to call it. Get off your duff, get off from behind your desk, and get out there and get the job done. And that was moving, baby. Interaction with people. Now it's all text messages, emails. Well, look at me. I'm sitting in a chair in Calgary, Alberta, talking to you on my computer. There's a camera right up here somewhere. There it is, right up there. Instantaneous communication, unbelievable. We're going to open business in the next 30 minutes. I mean, my God, has the world changed or what? And of course, you at home can now check your option quotes on here. Whereas 30, 40 years ago, you wanted to know how your options were doing from yesterday, you opened the newspaper. You went to the financial section. You went through the first 5, 6 pages of news stories. You got to the quotes. You used to have full pages of quotes for each stock exchange. So you had the American Stock Exchange, the New York Stock Exchange, the NASDAQ, the Toronto Stock Exchange if you're up in Canada. And then you had the options quotes. And then you had bond quotes, all printed from the newspaper every evening, overnight, so that you saw how your stocks closed and traded yesterday. That is how it used to be done. And you would look up Apple shares, and it would tell you Apple, and it would be the high, the low, the last, and how many traded. That's what you got to see. And if you're lucky, you might say the 52-week high and 52-week low on the same line if you were lucky. Certainly on the weekends, you might get that more detailed information. But Monday to Friday, you might only get the high, low, and close with volume. And on the options, you were only going to be shown options for the current 3-month window, and they were expiring once a month. And so you got to see your Apple contracts 2 or 3 prices above the strike price, 2 or 3 prices below, and that's all you saw. You didn't know what contracts were trading at $50 below the price of the stock. They didn't have that much space in the paper to give you that information. That was the normal for everyone. And if you were on a subway coming into town, the revolution in the 80s and the 90s was the tabloid newspaper to replace the giant full-size newspaper where the guys on the bus would have their paper out. They fold it backwards and fold it in half and be reading it, make it a tabloid. Then tabloid papers came out and it really condensed the news and photos and information. The good old days. What can I say? I still get the paper, says Jules. Ah, yes. Ah, yes. Page 3 was the naked lady laughing out loud. Drew, great flick. As a kid, a road trip game we played was taking turns spelling words from the spelling bee book. Genius, killed time, expanded vocabulary, and learned how to spell. It was a win-win-win. Modest Banana. People should care more about their local community than just skipping to global. Strong roots build strong branches. Mr. Premium, morning, y'all. Good morning, B Tizzle. The paper and being there are on my list, Uncle Bruce. I watched Margin Call recently. Love the recommendations. The Big Short, you got to watch The Big Short as well. Absolutely. Larry Titus, good morning. All number 73. Good morning, sir. Yes, being there and the paper, All the President's Men, My Girl Friday for a fun, a lighthearted comedy. Fast. Oh, my God, Fast. What a show. There were some phenomenal movies made in those days to give you a sense in some cases of kind of what the world was like, just the world in which we operated. Stephen Butler, the S&P sheets used to be updated quarterly. That was considered timely information back in the 80s. Yes. Oh gosh, I just the world at that time, when I became a stockbroker in 79, oh my gosh, for me to take my securities course, my Canadian securities course, I had to go to the library, the central library here in Calgary, to see financial records from annual reports from companies that would file through S&P. All the S&P cards would be subscribed for, and the libraries would get these. So I could go to the library and I could look up Exxon, I could look up IBM, I could look up whatever companies on the Dow 30, the S&P 500 more or less. That's as a student of the business, that's how I did it. When I was in the business as a broker, depending on the company we had, depending on the firm you were with, if you were with Merrill Lynch in Canada, that would be Merrill Lynch Canada, you would have access to all of Merrill Lynch's research. And that would be available, a lot of it in print form, but also a lot of it would be available on sort of a digital type in-house computer form, early days, rudimentary. Yeah, I tell you, to be able to do research back then was a different animal altogether, just a different animal altogether. Yep, they used to do that. Let's see. Splair, good morning from me. Good morning, y'all. Wishing everybody here a great, successful day. David Flores, no more teenage boys behind the tree looking at girly magazines. John Anderson, good morning, everybody. Ray W. Trading Places, a true Wall Street classic. That was fun at the end of the movie when Dan Aykroyd and Eddie Murphy go into the futures pit. That was kind of cool. Yeah, there's some good YouTube videos out there about the crash of 1987, especially from the Chicago Board of Trade side of things. There's some good ones where they interviewed 5 and 10 years after the event. They interviewed mainly men, but some females, but the people who were on the floor the moment the disaster took place and how bad it was going into the disaster and coming out of it and how we got out of it. Fascinating insights. Those of us in the business love stuff like that. We just do. The forensics of it all, when we figured out what happened with these with the all-time biggest crash in the history of the stock market. Who was the president of the United States on the day that the New York Stock Exchange had its single largest percentage loss in all of its history? Ronald Reagan. Ronnie Reagan was the president of the United States. unbelievable calamity, and oh, the world economy was on the edge because the United States had gone off its rocker, completely off its rocker. The Republicans had screwed up the uh, the uh, the business environment so badly with these trickle down economic theories. They almost broke the world economy by themselves. The rest of the world was not impressed with Ronnie Reagan, the Republicans, and they're still not impressed. How about that? Anyway, there you go. Too much fun. Sell Mortimer, see? Sell Mortimer, sell. That's right. That's right. Oh boy, the old days and how information used to transfer around. So many people in the brokerage business and investors used to watch the PBS television, your local PBS station, every night for the Wall Street report. You would get the daily recap of what happened in the markets. It would be a half-hour show with actual reporters behind the desk, and then they'd have taped pieces from New York and from Chicago and what have you. Um, that's how a lot of investors found out what happened today. What happened while I was working today? Because at work, you didn't have at your job a computer. You didn't have stock quotes at your ready in your hand. You didn't know what IBM was doing. You didn't know if there was a major announcement by the Fed today. Unless your broker called you directly, you had no idea what was going on. So at the end of the night, you would watch PBS television. It was the only place you could get 30 minutes of commercial free financial news. What happened? Because there was no CNBC, there was no CNN business, there was no Fox business, there was no Fox. The only place you could get reports was from PBS, um, where these reporters were paid a fraction of the kind of money that they could have made on network television. But no network offered stock news. And on Friday nights, mandatory watching. If you were a stockbroker, if you were in the markets at all, you watched Louis Rukeyser Friday evenings at 8 o'clock Eastern or seven. Well, maybe 7 o'clock, 8, 9 o'clock Eastern time. You would watch Louis Rukeyser, Wall Street Week, and you'd get the weekly breakdown of what happened. And then he would have guests on that would be the titans of Wall Street, the top CEOs of the biggest brokerage firms, the top analysts, CEOs of major corporations, the top people running pension funds and mutual funds. They would be his guests. He'd only have 3 or 4 guests a week. And every week you would be listening to Mr. Templeton from the Templeton Fund. So this guy would be on the show to find out what happened and what is expected to happen next week. It's the only way to know. Those days are gone. I'll tell you right now. My goodness. Stephen Butler, Rogue Trader, was a great film and is an outstanding story of the lack of managerial oversight. BW, I wish we could write options on frozen concentrated orange juice. EDT, Keith and Susan from New York, Brooklyn, shouting a good morning to you. How you guys doing? Beautiful city of Brooklyn, New York. Nice to have you here. Fool of a tuck. Too bad people still wholeheartedly believe in trickle-down economics. Talk about scams. H. Gregory, number 81. Splayer, Rocket Lab 709. My date of birth, 7th of September. You got to love this. You got to love it. Mine's the 22nd. I'm the last day of a Virgo on the 22nd. Oh, my goodness. What's going to happen on our stocks? Oh, my gosh. Rocket Lab, love it. 705. I like it. I like it a lot. Where are we at here? Let's see what kind of pre-market we have. We have 19 minutes to go before we start trading. Rocket Lab up 16 now. SoFi's up 11. GameStop down 6. Matterport's up a couple pennies. We've got Spire, looks like around 73 cents, up a few pennies. Apple down 27 cents. Goldman Sachs up 75. Tesla down 76 cents. Microsoft up 37 this morning. Not much going on. Very little change elsewhere. Up 280 on NVIDIA. We're up 27 on C3.ai Inc. That's what's going on there. What else here is going on? Let's see. There we are right there. PNC stock falls. The regional bank's revenue was a miss, headline. And second heat wave in as many weeks grips the Mediterranean while fires hit Spain, Switzerland, and Greece. Let's see what else is going on here. Lockheed Martin beats earnings estimates. The stock is rising. Some of the headlines coming out right now from Wall Street. Let's take a look over here at some other stocks. Rocket Lab at 705. We've got the Dow off 35 points. S&P down 7, just under 7, and the Nasdaq down about 35.5. Crude oil down a penny. We haven't got anything going on there. Very quiet. On interest rates, the 10-year notes, the U.S. 10-year is at 3.77%, well under 4% that it hit a couple of weeks ago. The U.K. is still at 4.35%, more than 0.6 of a percentage point higher than the U.S. In currencies right now, we have the euro at 112. The pound at just under 131. They have both risen for almost a week and a half, almost every single day. They have gone up against the American dollar. That will eventually run its course. Asia, up slightly, down slightly. Let me double check here. Yeah, we've got some gains in Japan, but losses in Hong Kong. European markets down at the moment, 1/100 of a percentage point, 1/10 of a point, half a point. Nothing great happening in Europe, and the reality of Europe is that it is, as I said yesterday on this show, Europe is in big trouble. The population of Europe, generally speaking, has not been able to get raises equal to or above inflation. And so the standard of living of Europeans is falling dramatically. And there are a number of Europeans with those who have extra cash are hoarding it. They're holding back. Those who are in the lower half are struggling to make it. Those in the upper half, I would say from the 50 percentile level to the 80 percentile level, that group are hoarding their capital. They're afraid of losing jobs. They're afraid of income cuts. They're afraid of higher prices, and so they are closing ranks and keeping cash in savings accounts and not spending. This is adding to the problem that Europe is having. When you have a certain segment of the population that can spend, that doesn't spend on whether it's clothing, whether it's a new car, whether it's some furniture, whether it's a trip, you have a ripple effect that hits domestically right now. And this is the fear of American business in the USA and Canada, that the middle class and up is going to clamp down and stop spending money. The folks in the bottom half, they have no choice but to spend every dollar they make because they're just trying to get by. You got a single mother with 3 kids. Every nickel coming into that front door is spent to keep that family fed and keep everything rolling. There are no savings in the lower middle class. There is nothing like that whatsoever. And it's a struggle just to stay ahead of the expenses. Whereas in the upper middle class, if you're bringing in $25,000 a month and you need $5,000 a month to live on, or $10,000 a month to live on, you have $10,000 or $15,000 of discretionary income every 30 days. That's a different world. Now, if you don't spend that extra 10 grand a month on a new watch or a nice trip or whatever it is you're going to spend it on, that is money not going back into the economy to roll over that economy. And that means potential enough of those people. Now we're talking trillions of dollars of money not turning over. And that's a recession happening faster than you can imagine. The very, 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 very wealthy, the top 0.1%, 0.5%, these folks can never spend all their money. They can't. They generate too much all the time. They spend a lot of money. They do, but they make that much more. And so Sure, a very wealthy individual can afford a jet, a private jet, for his spouse and children and friends, and take a party of 10 from New York to Los Angeles for or Palm Springs for a week, and then back to New York. Yeah, they can afford that, but they don't do that trip every day. They're not going to increase the number of private jet trips that they take already. So they're not going to spend more. They're just going to spend as much as and save more. So when you're in that level, you're actually trying to manage more money every month, every quarter, every year than the year before. Whereas if you're in the bottom half, you're just trying to get an extra $50 here, $100 here, $200 there to stay ahead of the rent increases, the cost of electricity, gas, garbage collection, health insurance premiums, the food bill, whatever, because there is no excess available anything. And you're just hoping to hang on to your job and hang on to your cash flow and try to expand. Rocket Lab 721 right now, 721 on Rocket Lab, climbing up again. We're up 32 cents a share right now on Rocket Lab stock. I couldn't be more delighted. Do I have a reason for you? I do not, but I don't care. I'm quite happy to allow the stock to go to 721 without any excuses whatsoever. You don't have to justify it to me. Just keep going. Get back to $25 a share. That's what I'd like to see. So I'm an easygoing guy. H. Gregory, thank you for number 81 thumbs up. Thank you very much. Number 90 from Bjorn. Hi there, Bjorn from Sweden. How you doing, pal? Thank you for the number 90 thumbs up. Appreciate it. Elaine Duck, I'm finally above the 948 average on SoFi. Keep going. SoFi. There you have it, folks. What do you do if SoFi hits $12 a share in the next 2 weeks with earnings coming up? They bring out the earnings, and the earnings are great, and everything is fine, and the shares are now the $12 mark. What should you do is what some of you might be asking yourselves. You might want to ask me, Bruce, should we start writing call options if we break $12 a share? My answer to that question is this. If you can write $15 call contracts on SoFi and you get paid $2 or more in premiums on those contracts, you have reached the point where you can start writing contracts. Now, it might be that the stock reaches 12 and a $15 call option is only going to get you 85 cents or $1.15 or $1.20. Can't write that contract yet. Then you might need the stock to go to $12.50, $12.85, $13. There's going to come a point in time where a $15 call option, that might be January 2024, December 23, whatever timing, will eventually reach the $2 mark or higher. It is at that point you now begin to do your homework to figure out which call you want to write, because you want to get your hands on $2 or more in your hand in cash to offer up your shares. Now, what do you do with the money? There's the question. What do you do with the dough you bring in? If you've got 10,000 shares and you write all the contracts that you can and haul in $2 a share in premium, that's $20,000. What do you do with the 20 grand? My advice at that point in time is to sit on it as dry powder. That's hard for you to do out there, I know, because you folks are itchy to trade and itchy to get going. You've got to become even more conservative when SoFi starts to run to these levels, because the $2 you're bringing in is actually there for you to be used to buy back these contracts if and when necessary. Either number one, stock backs up a little bit to the 10, 11 range, and these calls go from $2.25 down to $1 or 75 cents. You might then use some of that 20,000 to buy back these calls at a nice profit, leaving a bunch of money left over, which you could use to buy more stock at 10, 11 instead of at 14 to 15. Or you're going to write cash secured puts. You might write $10 cash secured puts and get a $2 premium there using the leftover cash from those options you wrote that have come back down. You might use that capital to write cash secured puts to go the other direction. Because again, if you have to buy the stock at $10, but you got $2 to write the put contract, you're only paying $8 to buy the stock. That might be in your wheelhouse of what to do. You want to have the dry powder available to make moves. If the shares go higher, they go to 12 or 13, you write $15 calls, you bring in $2 a share, the stock keeps going. And a month later, it's trading at $15.50. These $2 contracts might be trading at $3 now. You're going to need your $20,000 to start buying back your contracts to roll into $17 contracts further out in time. In other words, you want to now start writing $3 premium contracts or $3.50, because the higher the stock goes in price, the more expensive contracts will start to get. It's just like anything else. So when you have a stock trade at a higher price, you're in a much higher premium per share level. And so you might use your 20 grand and roll it over a couple of times to buy contracts, buy some of them back, write a new batch, buy the rest of them back, write a new batch. And now you've shifted your strike price up again another couple of dollars, and you've got 20 grand sitting in the account or more. And you've got dry powder. You're waiting, and you're able to make a move whenever that the time comes. Now, the strategy might be that some of you are saying to me, Bruce, I got 20,000 shares of Sofi, and my objective here is to be self-employed as soon as possible. And if I can start writing calls at $2 a contract cash on my 20,000 shares, I'm bringing in 40 G's. I need 5,000 a month to live on this. So I need to take 5,000 of that 40 grand out of my account into my checking account, and I got another month of life, and I don't have to work. I can live off of that. And a month from now, I need another 5,000. And a month after that, I need another 5. So if I write $2 calls today and bring in $20,000, is it possible that I might only need 15 or 10,000 in the next month to buy them back? And perhaps rewrite another set of calls. Now, it might be cash secured puts. I might well do that. I buy back my calls for 10 grand that I sold for 20, and I now write cash secured puts and bring in another 10 or 15 or 20 grand, take 5 of it to my checking account, and use the rest to hopefully buy back these puts on a lower level, which then means the stock has risen again, and I'm now writing $2 calls all over again for another $20,000. That could well be the pattern going forward for some of you. And those of you with 30,000 and 40,000 and 50,000 shares of Sofi, and there are many of you here, when you start to bring in $2 a share on your Sofi, you get 40,000 shares and you bring in $80,000. I'm expecting to hear from some of you where you're going to say to me, I had 28 grand in credit card debt. That's gone. I just took care of that in one shot. And that just lowered my cost of living by who knows how much money, 2% a month plus minimum payments. Substantial drop in the cost of living, which means you need less money to live on every month now. Hello. Putting less pressure on your account than more pressure on your account. Hello. Good move. Yeah, we're going to be busy here. We're going to be very active here. And I kind of half expect that quite a number of you are going to reach out to me and say, okay, we have to have a one-on-one here, because I've never been in this position before. I've never been in a situation where I could write 100, 200, 300, 400, 500 calls on a stock. This has never happened to me. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I'm out of my league here. I'm out of my comfort zone. Guide me as to what you think I should do. Should I write in segments? Should I write so many calls for a month, so many calls that are good for 2 months, 3 months in time? How do you think I should handle this? What kind of strike prices should I be working with? This will likely require a one-on-one where we can kind of review your cash needs and your overall scenario, and we'll figure out the most comfortable way and reasonable way to manage your new wealth, because you have a new income stream coming in here going forward, because SoFi isn't going to get smaller. The company is just going to get larger and larger and larger. So much fun. January 2025 15s are already at 185.90. Might be a little too far out to go that far at the moment, but yeah, we'll keep an eye on that. Ed Hawkins, number 91. Thank you, Bruce. Thank you, Ed. What else is going on here? Would be lovely if SoFi goes well past the 22. That'd be nice. Number 90, hello from Sweden. Where was I? Ciao, Uncle Bruce. I have GameStop, $19 and $20 calls. I sold some time ago, expiring on Friday. Now, I need to roll on, but the spreads are huge, and it takes months of time premium to get a $50 strike price increase. Please help. Okay, I don't know the deep details here. So you might need a one-on-one with me later today or tomorrow to figure something out if you feel it's worth your while. Ed Hawkins, number 91. Karen, number 56. JR, those are interesting calls. Rocket Lab, says Robert Benson. Yes, we love how the Rocket Lab is working. We're opening in 2 minutes. We got Rocket Lab right now, 7:06, and we hit 7:21 just a little while ago. 729 is well, I don't know what the high is 729 today, but the 1 year high is 729. So we are pushing that around. Ed, that seems an awful far out. Jan 25. It is. You don't want to go that far out. DQ, I'm agent 99 today. Right on. Bo, I've only got 3,000 shares of SoFi, but at 590, I'll be sitting on my hands waiting for higher prices before I start writing. Mr. Premium, nice to see cash secured puts starting to come around. I remember last year when they were unpopular. Splair, 718 already. Alberto, let's go dinero. That's right. We've got a minute until we open. Alberto, welcome to the show. Great to have you all here. Getting ready for fun. The Dow's down 34. We're down 5 3/4 on the S&P. We're down 29 on NASDAQ. Oil might be up a penny a barrel. That's about it for oil at the moment. Nothing much going on over there. Welcome, everybody, to the party. It's great to have you here. We're up 42 cents on AI, and Rocket Lab holding at 703. And we're about to start our trading. Fantastic. 26 today, says Coffee Kids Trading. Well, way to go. 26-year-old, 26 thumbs ups. I'm not sure what that means, but hopefully it's all good stuff. Hopefully it's all good stuff. All righty. Getting ready for Larry and the bells as we get ready to start trading on the session. 15-cent gain on Rocket Lab, 8 on SoFi. GameStop 22.70 at the moment. Matterport up a couple of pennies. Not much else happening. It's fractional moves everywhere else. A 246 gain on NVIDIA, but there's really not much else going on the markets. There we go. Thank you, Larry Titus, for nailing those bells. DQ says thank you. JR, dare be the bells. What are GameStop? Why are GameStop spreads so huge? Coffee Kids, number 26 thumbs ups. Thank you. Big Ozus, lurking since the GameStop fiasco. Still lurking. Don't get the option stuff, but I love the rants. I just keep listening. It's always good. I'm glad you're all here. Thank you for being part of this channel. In any way you feel happy, please subscribe to the channel if you can. And hit the thumbs up button if you can too. That would be a beautiful thing, giving the show a little bit of momentum out there. We would love that. Thank you all so much. If you become a member, it would be much appreciated. Please become a member of this channel and start commenting here during market hours. Love to have you. Don't forget, tomorrow night at 6 o'clock Eastern time, I'll be on the air for Gold Bagel members of this channel. The Primetime Live Show with Uncle Bruce will be on, and I would love to have you pop in and ask any questions on your options trading, and we'll compare some notes and kind of go from there. Kind of fun. JR has been a member for 11 months, Gold Bagel member. Wow, almost a year with Uncle Bruce, and what a year it has been. Way to go, JR. It's been quite something. Things have changed a lot for you, and I'm proud of it. 118 thumbs ups and climbing, going for 200 thumbs ups. We hope. Thank you all for helping out with the thumbs up meter. Please hit that that thumbs up button if you can for us. That would be absolutely wonderful. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here, being part of this community. We love you guys. This is absolutely beautiful stuff. All right. Welcome, one and all. Let's see how the markets are doing here. First thing in the morning, we'll try to get an update. Looks like we're only off about 17 points on the Dow at this point. That's sort of what we've been doing. Not much this morning. Like I said, it's been kind of quiet. S&P's down 5, NASDAQ down 39. Okay. There we go. We've got Rocket Lab at 713. We got Sofi up 3, GameStop down 4, Matterport down 4. Very quiet at the moment on the opening. SoFi's up 956 now. It's up 9 at 956. We got AI down just 4 cents. We have Unity down 74, Tesla down 230, Apple down 94 cents, Google down 39, but Moderna's up $1, Cisco's up 19, Pfizer's up 17, IBM up 40. Mixed bag here. Mixed openings. It's not all red. It's not all green. The Dow's only down now 9 points. So we do not have a first thing in the morning sell-off of any size. So we may have a bit of a green shoot picking up here. We'll follow that. Thank you all for popping in. Are the 3 p.m. shows still on? Ubi is asking. Those would have been the final hour of trading sessions. I was running those until a few months ago. No, I don't do those on a daily basis. It would have to be something incredibly extraordinary going on for me to do that nowadays. Just not enough of you sticking around for the afternoon shows. The great interest on this channel is the opening hour. That's where most of the interest is, and that makes sense to me because that's the busiest hour of the day. But you never know. You always got to keep tuned on this channel. You never know when I go live. Cindy, good morning. Uncle Bruce, number 120 here. Sunshine here in Michigan. Right on. We are clear again today at the moment. Yesterday morning, we were absolutely clear here for the weather. And then yesterday afternoon at 2 o'clock, it got so dark that people had their headlights on their cars. It got really dark. We had a massive thunderstorm come through here. And then the rains came and the hail. And then last night it cleared up again. And here we are, absolutely clear as a bell today. Typical July weather for Calgary. Thunder showers in the afternoon. It's weird. We're at 3,800 feet. We're not in the mountain heights, but we're not at sea level. And so we get weird systems here. It's quite entertaining, to say the least. Yeah, the last 20, 30 minutes can be busy. It depends on the day, of course. But, yeah, I don't do those live shows. We're now up a point on the Dow. We've gone green. How about that? Matterport down about 5 cents. NVIDIA down 245 at the moment. SoFi is at 952, up 4. Rocket Lab 706, up 17. GameStop is green now, up 18 cents. $23 on the nose. AI down 7. Smart Rent down 2. We got Unity down 63. Tesla down 270. Apple down $1.10. Google down 119. Moderna up 86. Cisco up 31. Pfizer up 30. IBM up 74. HBQ down 2. Microsoft down $1. Amazon down 197. We got Home Depot down 172. Vanek down 148. Netflix is up 226. Adobe down $2. Goldman up $3. Boeing down 88. Meta down $2. Target up 24 cents. Nothing on JP Morgan at the moment. No change. Costco up 4 cents. Walmart down 14. Disney up 87. American Airlines up 19 cents. DraftKings down 13. It's a mixed bag opening here, but we are positive 49 on the Dow. So the Dow is up, S&P down 2.5, NASDAQ down 50 points. And so it's the Dow 30 leading the way today at the moment. That's the story. I'm sticking to it. It's what we got following this market as close as we can. 709 on Rocket Lab, up 20 cents this morning, 31-cent gain on GameStop. So if you folks have GameStop contracts expiring this Friday, you need to buy back your calls at the lowest price you can and write replacement calls, even if it's the same calls, $19 strike price, $20 strike price. You write those for 3 months from now, 4 months from now, you likely bring in a lot more money than what you're paying to get your current calls back. You should be getting book value plus a premium. But if you can arrange it that you can go from 19s to 20s or 20s to 21s or 20s to 22s, I would recommend that strategy if that is all possible. Go further out in time and lock it in if you can. Totally up to you. On the other hand, you can always shift. You can buy back your calls on GameStop, sell off your GameStop shares or your deep in the money calls on GameStop, and then turn around and acquire deep in the money calls on AI or Unity or another stock and write options on those if you choose to do so. On the other hand, you could always sell off your GameStop shares, your GameStop deep in the money calls, close up your positions, and now become a cash secured put writer on GameStop, where you might write $20 puts or $18 puts for the next 3-4 months out into even January 2024 and take the premium on the put side and play that side of the option market for GameStop. It's up to you what comfort level you have. You can do cash secured puts on AI. You can do cash secured puts on Rocket Lab, on Sofi, Apple. How much capital have you got? It's a question of, you have enough capital. We're up 70 now on the Dow. The S&P is only down 1 1/3 points. So the S&P is about to go green. The Dow is green. We're still down 51, 52 on the NASDAQ. All righty. Splair, see you all again. Have a good one. Catch you tomorrow. Thank you, Splair. Good morning, Uncle Bruce from Cindy. Thank you all so much for these comments. 62-point gain on the Dow now. SoFi down a penny, Rocket Lab up 22, and GameStop 23.22 right now, up 40 cents. AI has gone green. It's up 18 cents right at this point in time. That's what's going on with this market, everybody. Nice to have you folks coming through here. Thank you all for the thumbs up so far. 129 thumbs ups for the session. Thank you very much for that. Indeed. Yes, we have a lot to follow here. Lots of news. Banks are coming out with earnings. They are more or less hitting their targeted projected numbers, but some of them are down upwards of 10% from last year. So we'll see how that goes. Yes. There we have it. Lots to watch, lots to follow on this market right now. Whew. Apple down $1, Goldman up 2, Cisco up 18, Tesla down 2.90, Arc Innovations down 11 cents, Microsoft down 2.30, Pfizer's up 25 cents, HPQ down 3, holding at 32.79, Alphabet, Google down 120 at 123.86, Amazon 132.10 down 147, Nvidia 459.92 down 4.80, Unity down 86 cents, and AI down 7 now, as we are seeing volatility come through here. Kind of expected. That's normal. It's what we should be getting right about these days. That's the kind of activity we should be watching for. Interest rates still low, lower on the 10-year US at 3.76%. The currencies, the euro is hanging around 112. The pound is hanging around 131 against the US dollar. And so they're up compared to where they were a few months ago. And of course, a year ago, the euro was at par to the US dollar. Now it's gained nicely. And the pound had been really hit last year, and it's recovered as well. Now back to 131, was down to like 110, maybe even lower than that for a short period of time. The US dollar really gained on currencies last year. So currencies this year seem to be gaining a bit of strength against the US dollar. 7.10 on your Rocket Lab. The high today, $7.19. The low of 7 on Rocket Lab, with no actual news out on the company. There is a release here. I think it says something like Rocket Lab deploys satellites for NASA and commercial constellation operators, successfully recovers booster. That was released maybe today. That was released. They deployed 7 satellites to orbit during the company's 7th mission for the year, it says, topping the launch off with a successful splashdown and recovery of Electron's booster as part of the company's reusable rocket program. That is the story at the moment from Rocket Lab. So there's another reason why the shares might be improving a little bit here on the corporate side. More success for rocket launches. And every time they do these launches, they are basically cutting their losses and improving their margins. It used to be a year or two ago, they would lose on every launch because they were not yet at a volume level of production. They now are producing way more rockets than before, and they're reusing them, so the cost of each launch is dropping and the profitability of each launch is rising. So the investment community is sort of saying, we're buying into the next year of this company. If Rocket Lab can do, instead of 7 launches by this time next year, 20, that much more cash flow will be coming through the front door. If they ultimately have, several dozen launches a year, 5, 6, 7 dozen a year, they could become a very heavy profit maker on the bottom end. So $7.15 a share, up 26 cents. The high of the day, $7.19. Nothing wrong with that. Those of you who have written cash secured puts on Rocket Lab should be, I would think by now, in a pretty darn good position. I would think that at one time that $5 Rocket Lab cash secured puts would have been generating 90 cents to $1 in premiums. They're now 35, 40 cents. The 4s are 10 to 20 cents. The 3s are 5 to 15 cents. These were all much higher at one time. The $6 puts are 65, 75. The $7 puts are 120, 130. These are January 2024 puts I'm talking about. They have all backed off in the last few weeks dramatically as the stock has gone into this 715 neighborhood from the $5.50, $6 ballpark. So pretty good stuff, everybody. Congratulations, all of you out there on Rocket Lab. Enjoying some nice gains. 717 now is the price of the stock. The high of the day, 719, which I think we just set barely a minute or two ago. We look to be hitting the new highs right now as I speak. Yes, so 1.4 million traded now, one penny away from the high of the day. 718 right now with the high trade of 719. We might be going beyond 720 the way this is trading right now on your Rocket Lab, everybody. 962 up 14 cents on Sofi, 38 cents away from $10 a share for the second time in a little over a month. The Sofi shares are approaching the $10 mark. And the question on a lot of our minds will be, could it be that Sofi doesn't just get to the 10.24 neighborhood it once saw, but it could go into the $11, $12 range instead and just really bust out and say goodbye to the 4s and the 5s and the 6s and the 7s and say hello to the 11, 12, and 13 neighborhood as our new hangout area for Sofi? That would put probably 99% of my viewers into profit mode on their Sofi shares. And now I would guess 3/4 of my viewers will be actively looking to write contracts to enhance their cash return on this stock. Because if you can bring in over $2 a share against your Sofi by writing an out of the money call, for some of you, you might find that your average will drop from $8 to $6 or 650 to 450 or 575 to 375. This is where the hold, the actual cost to you of your SoFi is negligible versus its trading levels and the opportunity to continue to bring premiums in from the stock. Very exciting, and I am stoked about this. I can't wait to see a bunch of viewers here be writing a ton of contracts, because there will be thousands of contracts written out of this channel because of that. So I'm excited. All right. What else is going on? Let's break 10, says Flint Creek. JR, closing hour shows are no longer running. That's true. We don't do the closing hour shows anymore. We're up 148 on the Dow. We continue to climb here on the big index. This is having an effect on a bunch of stocks here. We're up 3 points on S&P. Turn the corner over there, and NASDAQ is improving now. It's still down 42 points, but we were down about 60 points on the NASDAQ. We're down only 40. We're coming on. Oil up 62 cents at 74.77. Some of our favorite stocks, I'm showing Matterport at the moment down 5 cents. NVIDIA still off 472. But SoFi, 964 up 16. Rocket Lab, 715 up 26 cents. GameStop up 26 cents to 23.08. AI is up 88 cents to 39.61. Smart Rent down 2 cents. ATIP down 29. It's at 803. Unity down 61. Tesla down only 77 now. Apple only off 61 cents. We're coming on here. We're down 116 on Google. We're improving there too. Moderna up 126. Cisco up 31. Pfizer's up 40. IBM up $1. HPQ unchanged. Microsoft down only 286. Amazon down 144. Home Depot down 31 cents. SMH Semiconductor is improving as well. It is now only down 172. Netflix up 140. Adobe down 220. Goldman up 520. Boeing up 11. Meta down 170. Target up 31. JP Morgan up a penny. Costco down $1. Walmart down 9 cents. Disney up 145. American Airlines up 27 cents. So we've got an improved market here, generally speaking, going on at the moment. Right on, everybody. Fun. Can't wait until SoFi allows options trading in their platform. I hear you there. And B Tizzle to Alberto. It's the only thing keeping me from transferring accounts right now. Same here, says Alberto. I'm just waiting for them to offer options trading, and I'm bringing my money over. There's a ton of business coming SoFi's way the moment they go into the options business. Hopefully sooner rather than later. Okay, SoFi right now, 965 up 17. Rocket Lab, 716 up 26 cents. Very close on Rocket Lab to its high of the day, with a volume now on Rocket Lab, 1.6 million, 720. It was the high trades, 4 cents from here. SoFi today got up to 966. We're at 965 right now on SoFi. We're at the highs of the day. 5.5 million traded at the moment on your SoFi. So SoFi and Rocket Lab are leading the way today on some of these stocks we follow. And I'm not complaining about this. I hope you aren't either. Fun times. We have a class coming up on July 21. Make sure to join me if you can. Saturday, the 21st of July. That's not this Saturday. Next Saturday at noon Eastern time. We're bringing out lesson number 16. Lesson number 16 is going to be right here. Here's what it looks like right here. Lesson 16, how to use other people's money to profit in the options market. We're going to be talking about some credit spread trading here, where folks who are keenly interested in being into trading Tesla contracts, Apple contracts, Microsoft contract. We're talking about stocks that are so expensive that you can't easily acquire 1,000 shares or be able to write 5 or 10 contracts. we have some. I have some trading strategies coming up for you where you'll be able to write contracts on Sofi and others, Tesla and others, high price stock for very little capital and very nice profits and a high percentage of winning. So stick around. Come on in. Join us for that live on the 21st of July. BWAI is off to its safe zone, 31.71. 39.71. Massive resistance from when they slammed it down back on 11/29/2021. Someone gets really nervous when it's over that price. A shorter's row must be all around the SP. Interesting on the stock price. 39.19 now on AI, up 46 cents. So the stock is climbing, and there are 35 million shorted of this company. It's a ton of stock out there. Zed, UPSD keeps going up, 54.46, and the options are crazy, says Zed Estate. There you have it. $40 on AI with 35 million short. That's what is that? My math skills have left me. 140 million times 10, 1.4 billion times 4. No, it's huge. It's over $1 billion in stock shorted on AI. Yeah, that's right. $40 a share times 35 million is massive amounts of money. I can't. My brain won't do it anymore. I used to be able to do this like this. Now that I'm getting old, can't do the math. You'll have to do it for me. 35 million shares times $40 a share. How much money is that? Let me know. That is how much money is on the line right now on the short sale. If AI goes up $1, I know that $35 million is lost by the short sellers. It goes up $10, they lose $350 million. So this is a $1.4 billion problem. And if AI goes to $100 a share, we're talking about a short position now in excess of $3.5 billion. This is massively bad news for the shorters. And I just don't see the buyers letting up until the stock breaks 100 a share. I just don't. That's my personal opinion. We'll see if and when it happens. I don't know. 719 on your Rocket Lab, though. I think that's the high of the day range. 720 is a high of the day. We're up again. 1.7 million Rocket Lab buying is coming in here. 959 on SoFi. The Dow up 149 points. Okay, there you go. BTIZL, KRE Regional Banking Fund just broke $45. That's been a big resistance since the March collapse. BTIZL Z, UPSD is on fire. There it is. We've got 720 on Rocket Lab, the high of the day again, right now up 31 cents on those of you out there who have Rocket Lab shares. Those of you sitting on other stocks, Matterport, we're off just 5 cents, sitting here at 340, the low of the day, 337. Right now, waiting for news there. Hopefully soon, financials will come out. We've got, what else going on here? ME is at 184, up 4 cents today. Spire's up a tenth of a penny at 70.1 cents a share. So waiting for more news and earnings from some of our other favorites. See what they want to do. 150-point gain on the Dow Jones, 2.5 on S&P, 53-point drop on NASDAQ. There you go. 134 thumbs up saying, everybody, thank you for helping out today. Appreciate the thumbs up meter coming through. 37 minutes to go in the show, and we're trying to get as close to 200 as possible. Thank you all for being here for us. I appreciate it. All righty, there you go. Man, oh man. Rocket Lab 719 up 30. Giddy up, giddy up, giddy up. GameStop up 25 now, 2308. SoFi climbing again, 962. Okay. And let's head over here. 170 gain on the Dow, climbing further. All righty. Mm-mm-mm. Okay, what else is going on here? I'm just following headlines right now in the Wall Street Journal. Anything out of the ordinary, I'll let you in on it. I don't see anything crazy out of the ordinary at the moment. Uh, Headline in Market Watch says that the U.S. retail sales barely rise, pointing to weak spots in the economy. Well, with the heat, you can imagine a lot of people not going out to shopping malls. They just don't want to eat. They don't want to even be in the parking lot. Although there are probably other folks who are flocking to the shopping mall to escape heat in their homes or wherever they are to get into these shopping malls and try to cool down a little bit. Can you imagine the cost to a shopping mall, how expensive it would be to air condition millions of square feet of space when rents are down, vacancies are up. The shopping mall owners are getting hammered with these expenses. I would imagine can't be great. Um, 726 on your Rocket Lab, new high of the day, everybody. 726 on Rocket Lab now, going up yet again. 727 now, and 728 is the high of the day. Here we go. Probably pushing now, yep, 1.8 to 1.9 million volume on Rocket Lab keeps coming through here. This is active for this stock. 38-cent gain right now at 727 or so. Rocket Lab is definitely moving higher here. 970 now on SoFi, by the way. We're only 30 cents away from $10 a share. This is the high level of the day. 970.71 right now on 6.75 million SoFi shares. We're not getting a million a minute. And yet we're up again on SoFi. This has been a pattern now for a week and a half. We've gone from the low eights all the way down to the high nines, and we're pushing 972 right now, going for $10 a share yet again. Here it is. We're on our way higher on SoFi. Rocket Lab, 728, the high of the day right now. 729 has been touched already, pushing almost 2 million volume on Rocket Lab. 38-cent gain over there. Beautiful day. We're up 30 on GameStop, 23.12. Put cash secured writers are happy there. AI up 91 cents. Cash secured put writers are happy on AI as well. The money is being delivered to cash secured put writers right now. Very, very, very good. Like this. IBM up 164. That's a good move for IBM. Earnings are expected not too far from now. We should be getting news on AI pretty soon on IBM. We should be getting earnings not too long from now. See what gives. All right, Microsoft down 218 at 343. What a run it's been on. Amazon at 131.92 down 174. Netflix up another $4 to $4.54 a share. Hollywood strike is not hurting Netflix at all. Adobe down 195 at 520 a share. Big run there this year on Adobe. All right, there you go. Question coming in from Spicy. Uncle Bruce, at what price range would you suggest I roll my $15 deep in the money calls on GameStop to 18s? I'll use that extra money for some AI options. Not yet. You need the stock to actually break $30 a share. 23 a share is far too close for comfort. We see a $3 drop, and your 18s are only 2 in the money. No. You want to sit right now at 15. So that's as high as anyone should be anywhere. Period on GameStop. Even 15s is pushing the limit. Yeah, we need GameStop over 30, and then you can move to 18s comfortably, maybe 20s. BTS onwards. Do you know the details of how in the money contracts can affect stock price? There's numerous call contracts on SoFi expiring in the money this Friday. I haven't seen it this imbalanced before. In the money contracts affecting a stock price? Well, um, I don't know. I'm not sure. It really. Oh, pardon me. Well, let's see. Let's suppose SoFi closes at $10 Friday afternoon, and there's a ton of sevens and eights and nines out there. Okay, 750s, I guess, expiring on Friday. These are going to be exercised if they're not already bought back. I mean, whoever wrote SoFi calls, in the money calls, they either have to buy back their calls by Friday afternoon or they're going to get exercised over the weekend, right? So in theory, if 3 million shares are required to deliver against contracts, and the writers of said calls were poor man covered call writers, again, I'm speculating, or these calls were written as part of a credit spread, there's going to be a need for paper to cover up these transactions. But what we're talking about with SoFi, we're talking about 900 million shares out there. That's a lot of stock out there, and so I don't really know if the 3, 4, or 5 million shares will really do it. There's 940 million in existence, 819 in the free float. It doesn't hurt to have a demand for paper. That doesn't hurt a bit. The question is, will the demand be more than a few million shares? I don't know how many options we're talking about here. If you're talking about 100,000 contracts that are in the money, just as a number, that would mean 10 million shares, I guess. 100 times 100,000 contracts. It's 10 million shares. Yeah. If it were 200,000 contracts that are all in the money and they all get exercised, then we're talking 20 million shares that have to be acquired, and that would make a difference. Yes, it would. But is it only going to be 5,000 contracts net after it's all said and done? Is it going to be 10,000 contracts? It might be 500,000 to a million shares, and on a stock that trades 5, 10, 50 million a day, let's say 50 million shares, this shouldn't be a big deal. But let's see for ourselves. Yeah, let's see for ourselves. If this is all new, and it would be great if it was, then fantastic. Let's see what kind of demand we get here. By the way, Rocket Lab 732 now, new high of the day. We're up 43 cents on Rocket Lab. I'm going to go over to SoFi right now. Check out the options on SoFi that expire this Friday. See if I can get my big SI pad to lock in here. So July 21, that's this Friday expiry. Yeah, in the money, there aren't that many. Look, at 950, there are 3,600. And at $9, there's, oh, no, sorry, hang on a second. Let me wait a minute. I'm getting a refresh. Okay, 17,600 at 950, 37,600 at 9, 10,300 at 850, 27,000 at 8, 20,000 at 7, 35,000 at 6. All right. So again, to reiterate the point, until Friday afternoon, we may find that a bunch of these calls will be bought back and will not be outstanding at the bell. That is the question. How many of these calls will be outstanding at the bell? That's one. Number two, B Tizzle. What if the shares go to $12 tomorrow? Wouldn't that be fun? Because then the 10s and the 1050s, the 11s and the 1150s would all be in the money too. The 10s, there are 55,000 of those, and there are 6,800 1050s, 21,000 11s. I mean, just those three would be 80,000 more contracts representing 8 million shares. The 12s, there are 12,300 of those out there. So, yeah, 100,000 contracts over $10 each. So, again, B Tizzle, it's possible. It is possible that a fair percentage of all of these calls are still in existence at the bell Friday night. It's possible. But the stock would have to take a run, I think, to catch people unawares. It's at 968. I mean, it's not like it's not in, we're not chump change here. We've gone up nicely from that 8 level a few weeks ago when the 8s were barely in the money. Now we have 8s, 850s, 9 and 950s all in the money. So they have come over to the other side here. And now the question is, how many millions of shares would be required to cover these trades? That is a good question. Rocket Lab 726. AI broke 40, says Cindy. There you go. $40 again. And that puts 30 something million shares short. A huge number. Jen, how are you this morning?
I'm good.
It's nice and cool in here, isn't it?
It is. It's lovely cool this morning.
Really lovely
And
cool.
the skies are clean.
Just like yesterday. Oh, they're very bright now. All our smoke is gone. Our skies, our skies are back to normal. I sure hope it lasts.
Yeah.
All this rain we've had and moisture has really cleaned out the air quality.
Yeah, we've had rain and hail for the last 4 days.
Yeah, I'm hopeful that wide swaths of smoke air have been cleaned out by all the rain that has fallen here in the area, which means we aren't passing on to Chicago or to Detroit any more bad air.
Yeah.
Cross our fingers.
The smoke patterns are crazy. It
yeah.
really shows you the jet stream.
And we desperately need rain up north. I mean, desperately
it's the only way
rain.
The fires go.
It's the only way they're going to be tampered down, and the smoke levels will be dropped off.
We had our second firefighter die.
Oh, yeah, we had another one pass away. B. Tizzle says, thank you so much, Uncle Bruce. Richard Carlin, good morning, Auntie Jen. B. Tizzle, good morning, Auntie Jen.
Richard.
Larry Titus, good morning, Jen.
Good morning.
Good morning. We're up 208 points on the Dow now. 208. We're up 9 on S&P. Both of these are climbing. The NASDAQ is still down 30, but it was down 60. Oil up $1. So that's what's going on.
I should say hello to all the lurkers.
Hello to
good
all
morning to the lurkers. Or good afternoon, whenever you're watching.
Yeah, and hey, maybe you should encourage the lurkers to become members.
I always encourage the lurkers
to become members. And
then you can talk.
And people should become registered for the class.
People, well, first
you're going to be moderating.
A few before they get to this one.
They have a few classes to watch to get to this class, but yes.
We say it all the time. This is going to be a good one.
This is going to be a good one. Yeah,
this is going to be a good one.
Jen and I were talking about the class coming up last night, and I got so much work I'm working on right now. I've got so many examples of the strategy coming up. A bunch of you are going to want to talk to me after this class is over to help you figure out what strategies you may want to employ here on these credit spreads.
There's so many different strategies.
There are, but we want to keep it simple, stupid, to make it easy to understand.
Yeah.
But we also want to give you strategies over a wide range of stocks or indexes, and to give you the opportunity to increase your win percentage dramatically higher. And this strategy can do so. Plus, the really big news here, I keep mentioning it, is a lot of you would like to write options on Tesla, on Apple, on Microsoft, on Google, Amazon, any stock over $100+ a share, Home Depot, for example. The triple Qs, the SPYs. This strategy is perfect for very high cost option trades to be done by smaller investors with a very high probability of success. So come on into the class, kids. Register
Yeah,
ASAP.
grab a desk, get your pencil sharp.
Yes, head over to the website. Listen to Andy Jen. Listen to that. Head over to the website and
Bring your eraser.
actually not the website. Head over to the PayPal account over here. Make your donation for $150 to register
email so
into the class, and then send me an email. Yes. That's right. Send me a private email here at bruceforman@hotmail.com and let me know, Bruce, I just sent you $150 US.
The email address.
I'm in for class 16. This is my email address I want you to use to send me the link to the class.
And we don't give anybody your email address. We don't do that.
Of course not. We don't do that. Now, Auntie Jen can moderate all of you while we do this class.
Whippersnappers.
And get you whippersnappers and slackers online. And Strickland, we'll keep Strickland out of the classroom. We won't let him in.
Liberty gibbets.
Liberty gibbets?
Liberty gibbets.
Liberty gibbets? What the hell does that mean?
Those are silly young children.
Oh. I'm the last to know some of this. It's complicated. I don't know what's going on. Larry Titus, good morning, Jen. John Anderson, good morning, Jen. Drew, good morning, Jen. A whole bunch of folks saying hi to you. I think we got them all. Sofi at 971. We're climbing again on Sofi. Rocket Lab is now 727 with a high already of 732. Both of these stocks are climbing nicely today. GameStop 23.31 up 49 cents. AI $40.36 up 163. Cash secured put writers are grinning from ear to ear right now with this market coming on. Pretty good stuff.
You want to hear what happened downtown this morning?
I don't know if I want to hear what happened downtown this morning, but go ahead.
A big truck ran into a plus 15.
Oh. You folks know what a plus 15 is?
It's 15 meters above the ground.
It's a sky bridge between skyscrapers in downtown Calgary, 15 meters above the ground, about 45 feet above the ground. So the third floor. And you can walk from building to building and block to block. You can walk downtown Calgary,
so in the
all
winter,
indoors,
yeah,
air conditioned in the summer, warm in the winter, food courts at many buildings, between buildings. You can walk from your office to a food court or from your office to another building
to
for a meeting.
Shopping mall.
You can go shopping or you can get to your car park, all indoors, underground heated car parking.
So nice.
So you're never outdoors when you come into downtown to do your work or whatever you need to do. Very handy.
I walked to work all summer and all winter because I was really only outside for about 5 minutes.
We were living
the rest
downtown.
Of the time I'm inside.
Yeah, but we lived downtown at the time. That was different too. A lot of commuters who come in from the burbs, they'll come in on our LRT line, light rapid transit, and they'll get off at a stop right at
and immediately go in the building.
It'll be right at one of our shopping malls. Like we have a downtown shopping mall core between 4 or 5 big skyscrapers. And the train stops right at the doors of the mall. They get off the train, and within 10 seconds, they're inside a heated mall. And they take an escalator up one level.
First you go past all the coffee shops.
Of course. But you go up one level to the plus 15 level. You are now connected. In a 15 block long by 6 block deep corridor, all connected, and you do not need to go outside. Except now?
Except for right now, because a vehicle hit it.
One of the plus 15 bridges was hit. One. Yeah, okay.
That has to be closed off until it's repaired.
Fair enough.
We had ours hit. Yeah. I've been through that.
It's a rarity. It can happen.
It is. Trucks know how big they are.
Trucks generally have height restrictions. But this was not an invention, but this was a Calgary phenom in the early 70s as the city fathers of the day, which was a great thing, the engineers of the day, they were getting applications for building permits, requests for brand new skyscrapers for these oil and gas companies that are headquartered here. And the city fathers said, all new buildings have to have certain things. One, you got to dig a hole in the ground and put underground parking under your
Mhm.
building, which includes, depending on how big your building is, underground loading docks. So some of the larger twin tower structures that we have here, you would drive your car down 100 feet, 150 feet into a huge loading dock area that can handle pretty good sized trucks, not transport trucks, but definitely delivery
Yeah,
trucks.
delivery.
All the couriers would go downstairs and drop off and pick up packages there. Then lower than that would be underground parkade parking for office workers and guests.
Mm.
So that
Some of them have car washes in there.
some of them have car washes. And so that was the first thing that the city fathers insisted on, parking underneath the buildings, because street parking would be impossible for two 45-story tall skyscrapers.
Yeah.
The amount of traffic coming to these buildings would be unfathomable. The second thing was that the buildings would be connected to each other and to their neighbors by the plus 15, plus 30, even the plus 45 network. In some cases, the buildings have 3 levels of a sky bridge where people are walking across 3 levels.
Must be 15 feet.
And 15 feet? Must be 15 feet, not meters.
It would have been before we went metric.
15, plus 15 is plus 15 feet, plus 30 feet, plus 45 feet. And this started in the early 70s. And by the mid 70s, about 4 or 5 blocks of Calgary, you could stay indoors for quite a distance. And then we started going out the other direction.
Mm-hmm.
Now today, it's all of the downtown core.
You can go
it's great.
from
It is great.
Almost probably Center Street out to 8th.
Yeah. You can probably go
East
city,
west,
almost city
and
hall.
then north south.
Yeah.
You can go from 1st
to 10th.
To 10th.
Yeah. This is every new building going up plus 15 connection. Plus 15 connection. Absolutely every single one.
Yeah.
Buildings now do not want to not have it. They want to be part of the plus 15 network, because a majority of Calgarians who are downtown every day use it.
Well, and we were on the outskirts. We were not on one of the busy lines of people.
Right.
And we had 6,000 people walk through our building every day.
At least.
Yeah. We'd have the counters out various times.
Yeah.
And it was 6,000 people.
In downtown Calgary.
And we were the edge.
On a typical day, we're talking hundreds of thousands of foot traffic people.
Oh, in the core area.
Everywhere. Yeah. I mean, there are retailers that live and die from the plus 15 foot traffic.
I think there's cities now in the States that also have it. The ones
Minneapolis definitely has it. I don't know about Denver and even with cities with oppressive heat. Here in Calgary, it's 85 out. People are happy to be indoor in the plus 15. Air conditioned comfort. Yeah.
That's right.
And you take the elevator only down to the plus 15 level, and you do your walking, and then you get to where you need to go and take the elevator up from there.
Yeah.
Very convenient.
And all those fast foods and retailers.
Yeah.
Post offices. Yeah.
Barbers, dry cleaners, dentists.
The Alberta Stock Exchange, you used to be able to look down the glass windows.
The Alberta Stock Exchange was on the plus 15 level. We had thousands of people walking by the windows, looking at the floor traders, yelling at each other. Yeah. It was a great pastime, great thing to watch. Fist fights. Oh, the good old days.
Oh, yeah. Playing golf with the old bids. Yeah.
Throwing paper balls at each other. And
sleeping.
Oh, yeah, and sleeping from hangovers. Yeah. Drew says a stinker hit on Rocket Lab. I wrote 8s for 75 cents. Giddy up.
Nice.
Lame Duck. Hi, Auntie Jen. Glad you're back before Uncle Bruce hurts himself anymore.
Oh, I know,
Bruce is recovering.
Duck,
He's recovering. This is nothing compared to what it was last week. Last week, this was really red. Really.
And it looks
angry.
like a bruise, but that's actually a burn.
It's just a burn.
It's only a first degree.
I will survive. Not a lurker anymore. Hello, Auntie Jen. Number 143 on the thumbs up meter. Thank you, not a lurker anymore, for being here. We'll catch you on the rerun. You got it, buddy. We'll catch you on the rerun. Right on, everyone.
That's right.
Yes. Where are we at now? Sofi 968 up 20 cents. Rocket Lab $7.32. The high today, $7.35.
What are the SoFi volumes?
We're looking good. SoFi volume today is 9.8 million.
Same.
Quite quiet, quite a
Yeah.
bit quieter than
Yeah.
normal. But again, up. There is no selling coming in here.
I know, and it always it sounds dumb to say it this way, but there's nobody's selling. Of course, people are selling. There's always a seller and a buyer in each transaction, but yeah, there's not as many sellers.
Those who wanted out in the 4s and 5s are now crying in their beer that they sold. There's people sold $5.50 a share, $6 a share. They're crying in their beer, and I say, too bad. Keep crying.
I got tears in my ears.
Keep
from
crying.
lying on my back in my bed.
So
crying.
I heard a joke today.
Okay.
I saw a clip.
You don't hear jokes as much.
I saw a clip of Paul McCartney tell a joke.
Oh gosh. Okay.
I thought, I've never seen Paul McCartney ever tell a joke. I was curious as hell. And he's talking about this gentleman goes into this bar.
Okay.
And he says, he goes into the bar. There's nobody there, just the bartender. And he comes up to the bar, and the bartender says, "Can I help you?" And he says, "Yeah, I'd like a Guinness." "Oh, sure, I'll pull a Guinness for you, no problem."
Yeah.
So the bartender's pouring the beer, and he's asking the guy, "Hey, when you came up the walkway, did you see that white picket fence that is along the walkway of my bar?" He says, "Yeah, I did." He says, "I built that myself, and I painted it myself. But, no one ever calls me Donnie, the perfect fence builder." "Oh, that's interesting." And the beer's just about poured, and he says, "Here you go, sir. Here's your beer. Is that a well poured Guinness?" He said, "Oh yeah, it's fantastic. How does it taste?" He takes a taste. "Fantastic." He says, "I do this all the time. Do you think they call me Donnie, the perfect Guinness beer pourer?" "No, they don't." "Oh, that's interesting. But take one goat on a date one time."
That's so bad.
One time, one goat, one date, one time. What do they call you? Donnie the goat dater.
I like my joke better.
You didn't use the word dater. I just exploded in laughter because I'm not used to seeing Paul McCartney tell jokes. I wish
that include the word goat.
I of course would of course give anything to be able to meet the gentleman.
McCartney can say whatever he wants.
Just talk about whatever he wants to talk about. I would love that, but I don't think he needs me to have any time. He has plenty of friends who can help him pass the time. But Paul McCartney, you're always welcome to I'll get together wherever you want. We'll compare jokes if you like, or I'll tell you how to write stock options, whatever you need.
Why are the pyramids in Egypt?
Why are the pyramids in Egypt?
Because they won't fit in the British Natural Museum.
It's a thing with her.
It's a thing.
We have to go to the National Portrait Museum in London.
Okay.
There's a display.
Are there portraits of nations?
There's a display that's just been opened up.
Okay.
In 1970-ish, roughly, roughly 1,000 photographs were discovered that Paul McCartney himself had taken with his own cameras.
Oh.
Back in 63, 64 of the lads.
While they were touring and stuff.
Doing all those early days.
Yeah.
And a whole bunch of these photos are available for viewing at the National Portrait Gallery in London.
Nice exhibit.
I think we're going to have to check that out.
Go there.
I think that's going to be worth our while. Apparently, there's a book too. Surprise.
Coffee table book?
Probably coffee table book.
Coffee table.
I'll have to wait until I get back to Calgary to buy it because I sure can't schlep it around with me in Europe. Can't schlep a 20-pound book with me, but
you could.
Well, but I won't. But
Maybe it comes in a backpack.
I'd be happy to go to the National Portrait Gallery and see these because they're.
You could use it as an umbrella. No.
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 No. No. Beach Boy liked that joke. He's laughing out loud. Alberta loved it. He liked it. There you have it.
I think they're talking about your goat one, not
The
my
goat one,
pyramid
yeah,
one.
of course. One goat, one time.
One time.
Donnie the goat dater. Woohoo, says not a lurker. Rocket Lab hits new 52-week high of 738.
Hello.
739 right now,
739.
and the high of 740 already. And if we look at a 1-year chart of Rocket Lab, look at this.
Mhm.
That is today right
Mhm.
there. That's pretty cool, don't
That's
you
not
think?
bad.
And if we go to a
like those
2-year
ones.
chart, we have a ways to go
Oh.
because 2 years ago we were here
Over
in
21.
way over the 20s. So we have a ways to continue to go. But we will take every penny right now and
That's
just
right.
keep running this puppy. Thank you very much. 740 a share with a volume of 2.7 million. Rocket Lab traded today. Very nice. SoFi is 965 right now a share. Volume on SoFi today 10.4 million, which is okay. 974 for the high of the day, and we're having a good day on SoFi. GameStop 23.32 up 50 cents a share, and AI 40.46 up $1.74. And so my cash secured option writers,
Yes.
one of which I know one guy in Israel that has got a big grin on his face
Is he-
from
is he a
cash
happy
secured
camper?
put option writing on a couple of particular stock. He has got to be smiling from
Nice.
ear to ear today as well. So
There you go.
how about that?
Well, I'm
We
going to
can
go
like.
smile and have a cup of tea. A cup of.
Are you not? Well, we're just about at the end of this show. We got 5 or so minutes left to go.
And
Thank
I
you
get to say
for
goodbye for
thank you for joining me. Just saw here. Here's a message from Israel. Beach Boy. Hi, Auntie Jen.
Hi, Beach Boy.
Been a Gold Bagel member for 28 months now. Going
Isn't
to
that
be
amazing?
all of them, a ton of them.
It just doesn't feel like it's been that long. That it could have been over 2 years.
Here we go.
You know?
Here's a message from Beach Boy. Hi, Auntie Jen. Looking forward to be disciplined at class number 16. And by the way, please let Uncle Bruce know the stinker hit 115 covered 115 calls on AI this Friday for 189. Thank you very much.
For this Friday. As
yes.
in 4 days from now.
115. Now I'm not sure. These are covered calls.
Yes.
So I suspect he bought them back today.
Yeah.
Or he wrote
No,
them.
he wrote it.
Or he's written them for this Friday. Anyway, he's a busy man, and he's working it real good. I like it.
It's keeping him off the beach, I'll tell you that.
Alberto was laughing. Nazareth, the farmer joke that Gilbert Gottfried said at Roseanne's roast is legendary. You can't repeat that here. Not a lurker. Alberto, good morning, Beach Boy. Laughing out loud. Alberto, not a lurker. Let's get this moolah. Not a lurker. Woo-hoo! And all-time high or 1-year high now on Rocket Lab, 740 and counting. The high now has been 745. This is the 52-week high compared to the low of 348. Thank you very much. Thank you, Auntie Jen. See you later. 2.85 million traded on your Rocket Lab. SoFi, the 52-week high is 1023. I think that was June last month. The low 424 is the low on SoFi for the last year, 424. GameStop 23.33 up 51. AI 40.39 up 166. There you go. 231 point gain right now on the Dow. Very good day. Beach Boy says, yeah, I wrote them for this Friday, Bruce. There you go. Nazareth, I am number 149, Bruce, on your thumbs up meter. Thank you, Nazareth. Way to go, Beach Boy. 115 written for 189 a piece, expiring Friday, $40 strike on AI. They're worth 36 cents, are now worth 17 cents each. He got 189 for them. Rock and roll. Should be fun to see what happens here. Let's see. Otherwise, get a refresh going here. See, 238 gain on the Dow, 6.6 gain on S&P. The Dow is off 43 points as we continue to go through the gyrations of this market. Fun stuff. The highs, the lows, and in-betweens of this market, everybody. Thank you guys for being with me today. Appreciate it so much. 150 thumbs ups. If any of you are watching the show on the rerun, please hit the thumbs up button for us and give us a boost there if you could. Thanks to Beach Boy making an announcement how long he's been a member. Also to JR today, thank you for these huge green bars, letting us know how long you've been part of the show. And the gang here, I can only say to all of you out there, to pop a few knee emojis out there for you and let you know that let's hope that the Knights of Knee take good care of you today, give you a premium, wonderful premiums on your option rights, and beautiful stink bids and stink offers when you write and buy back your calls and your puts. Well done, Option Nomads. Neat. Option Nomads is here. Larry Titus. Neat. He's here. The knee emojis are popping up here now. B Tizzle. Neat. Here they come. One after the other. The knee emojis are popping up all over the place. 151 thumbs ups. Thanks, guys. Keep throwing them up there if you can and help us out. We appreciate the thumbs up. Zeta State. Neat. There you go. Giddy on up, everybody. Fun. I like it when stocks hit new 52-week highs, and I have a few viewers with a gazillion of these. Dean, neat. Alex, neat. Just made it for the end of the show. We'll catch the rest on the rerun. Neat. John Anderson, neat. Zeta State, 151 thumbs up. Thank you. Now we have 152 thumbs ups. Thank you, everybody. Pop those thumbs ups over there and help us out as well. Thank you all so much. The Big E is here. Neat. Gotta love that. Thank you all. We'll keep an eye open for any of you who want to register for the class on the 21st of July. That's a week from Saturday at noon Eastern. We will be doing class number 16, and Beach Boy will be there, and a manager will be there, and who else is already? I got a bunch of you already there. The donations are coming in. We will keep registering you. D.H. Ruda, thank you. Beach Boy, thank you. Karen, thank you. Neat. There you go. Marcus, number 153. Thank you, Marcus. Giddy up, everybody. Have yourselves a great day and a great session today. Stay cool and don't get overheated on me. Alex, neat. We'll catch you guys tomorrow morning right here as we continue to follow these markets and see how these shares work for us. Get richer and richer, please. And we will compare notes again next time. Okay, everybody. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you all for your support. It's Bruce and Antigen from Calgary saying, see you later. We'll keep you posted and keep counting those doneros. Thank you, John Anderson and Alex and Marcus and Karen and Beach Boy, DH, Big E, Zeta State, everyone else. Thank you, Larry. Have a good one, everyone. BW thinks Uncle B AI needs to find a cliff just for a few hours and make it really stinky of a drop. You never know if and when. You got to keep an eye on them. Giddy up, all of you. We'll see you later. Bye for now.